Hey everybody, Rich here, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. So two of my favorite sayings are necessity is a mother and waste not, want not. Uh, I'd mentioned in a previous video that I had a couple of people on a Thursday evening. They made arrangements to come over Saturday evening and pick up 2 colonies of bees. And those 2 colonies of bees were in nukes, 2 5-frame nukes stacked on top of each other. They were going to take them away in 10-frame equipment. But because it's been so long that they've been here, I'd had to kept putting supers on them. I had to put queen excluders on them, and I had to put supers on them, or else I was going to have swarms that were swarming, because I had to hold them down to, just 10 frames each so that I could give them away. And it occurred to me that it was going to be a real pain in the butt to get a whole lot of bees out of those honey supers on top of that colony, and a lot more work than I actually wanted to go to. And since earlier this year, I bought a couple of those 8-frame Ceracell cone escapes to use for when I harvested honey. I had a couple of older escape boards sitting around that were just taking up space and I wasn't going to be using for anything. And one of them was the one that was all the rage 2 years ago. And that's the one that looked like this, fused in the middle as one piece, that you could just put, right over the middle of a regular inner cover and turn it into a bee escape. And I had seen a picture somewhere of someone who took one of these, cut it in half, and put it at opposite ends of a 10-frame shim to make a bee escape that way. And I thought, well, I don't really see the point to any great extent, but whatever. So when I suddenly realized what I was facing Saturday afternoon, I decided Friday to retrieve that bee escape, slice it in half, make 2 5-frame shims. You put your exits on this side, these are on this side, they go down like this, so I could get both colonies leaving at the same time. Now, one of them had 1 super on it, the other one had 2 supers on it. The one worked real well, clearing the 1 super one. The other one that had to clear 2 supers didn't work quite so well. But I just wanted to show you, necessity can be a mother, and be creative. I don't think you're going to find too many 5-frame bee escapes for sale in the beekeeping catalogs anytime soon, even though people are doing a whole lot more these days with beekeeping in 5-frame nukes. But yeah, I think we're probably a little bit away from everybody and their brother getting on this particular bandwagon. So I just wanted to show you, hey, if you got something sitting around and you've got a situation, make it.
Are you going to explain how you used them?
Oh, well, yeah, but I'll explain that as I touch on this. In case you don't know the way you use a bee escape, deep side down, you put it on top of the brood chamber. In this case, queen excluder, then that's set on top of the queen excluder. You put your honey supers on top of that, and the heat of the day and the simple interaction of bees, they leave the only way they can leave, which is to come down here and go through this, and they don't really come back. And so it slowly clears them. I mean, if you're just doing it totally passively, a couple of hours isn't really quite enough. Overnight is fine. You certainly don't want to leave it more than overnight, because then you're just inviting the small hive beetles and the wax moths to dinner, because you don't have enough bees in the supers to do anything. So overnight at the most. But in my case, I only had a couple hours. So that brings into play the only other thing. I've had a problem in the past where I needed to clear a couple of supers on one hive at a time. And so I simply made it's just, the metal top. I made a fume board for a 5-frame super. Again, something you're not going to see in the catalogs.
What's the material on the inside?
Material on the inside in this case is a piece of the artificial chamois for washing your car. It works the same way felt does. It's like, oh, I got to go get felt. No, not if you got to clean one of these. They're $1 at the dollar store, you know. Spray it with the Bee Gone, same way as anything else. You put it on top in the sun, and away they go. And so in this case, it would just, you know, you'd have a super between here, and boom, boom. And if you're in a hurry, or if it's late in the afternoon, because this works best, the metal heats up and it drives the odor down. I did a video on this before, but just to remind you, I was in Walgreens.
Baby bubbles, that's cute.
I was in Walmart one day, and I was just strolling down the reduced rack, and I saw that, and I went, hey, wait a minute. I'll bet you that would work just as well. So one little hole over here.
It works on batteries?
Yep. 2 AA batteries. Turn it on. So instead of it being passive in here, now there's a little airflow. It's not a giant airflow or anything like that, but you've got the vibration, which bees don't like vibration very much. And there's a nice little airflow going around in there to disperse the Bee Gone material, which I know that bitter almond oil is one of the ingredients. I'm not sure what else all goes in thing of Bee Gone, but you know, it drives them out in pretty fast order. I cleared the single super in about 15 minutes the other day. Didn't have many bees left in that at all. The double super I wasn't as successful with because I didn't have much time, because remember, that was when I found this other swarm moving in over here, and then instead of focusing on this, I had to focus on the other swarm. But still, your little baby bubbler to go along with your baby hive, I guess, would be one way to look at it. So, hey, if you got a situation, be creative and give it some thought and see what you come up with. Do I now have a couple of pieces of equipment that I have to store and aren't going to get used very often? Yeah, but you know, because I do this every spring, they're going to get used every spring.
You've already gotten 8 swarms. I wouldn't say you don't use it often.
No, I got 8 swarms out of 1 bucket there and 1 there. We've had like it's either 11 or 12 swarms total. Every bucket has caught a swarm.
So it actually is equipment that you
Yeah, it is
use.
equipment. If the swarm is small enough to go in a 5-frame box instead of an 8-frame, then it's equipment I might end up using. But that's it. Short video. Just something I wasn't going to have any more use for. These are still available. Did not see them in a couple of catalogs. I went looking for them a minute ago, but they're still available on eBay. Just type in Bee Escape and you'll see that diamond-shaped thing for about 11 bucks. That's it. That's it for now. This has been Rich, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. Hey, like and subscribe.
Every day's an adventure.
Every day is a challenge to be overcome.